The CEO's daughter, a walking Pinterest board named Claire, banned me from her $300,000 product launch, saying I didn't fit the aesthetic. She thought I was just the girl who ordered oat milk. She was wrong. The morning of the event, the fire marshal called me at sunrise. Why? Because one click from my desk, the desk she never knew existed, had flagged her entire launch non-compliant and locked the doors. Welcome to Karma Chronicles, your ultimate destination for thrilling revenge stories where corporate hubris always meets its match. If you believe in compliance, hit that subscribe button and share this story. I knew something was fundamentally wrong when the fire marshal called me before sunrise, asking why Leventra Tech's $300,000 product launch event didn't have a valid assembly license on file. I was still in my robe, stirring instant coffee with a pen cap, because all my spoons had mysteriously disappeared, probably hiding out with my last shred of patience. The marshal sounded confused. I wasn't. Deep down, I already knew Claire Worthen had screwed something up. The only surprise was that the match had been lit this early. Usually, corporate chaos slept in till noon and showed up in designer heels. Claire, fresh out of a marketing immersion program that probably involved a semester of TikTok strategy and $18 smoothies, had arrived like a reality show contestant who accidentally wandered into a real company. I'd been with Leventra 11 years. I'd survived 4 reorgs, 2 hostile acquisitions, and 1 CFO who faked a heart attack to avoid a budget meeting. I didn't blink when Claire was parachuted in as head of product launch. She didn't notice me much. People like Claire rarely notice operations folks unless the espresso machine breaks or someone forgets to reorder the oat milk. I kept the gears turning, quietly, efficiently. When a shipment got stuck at customs, I made calls. When we needed a city permit approved in under 3 days, I massaged timelines and pulled strings from contacts I'd built over a decade. No glory, no press releases, just the unglamorous backbone of the company nobody bothered to see. I got my first alert when my system pinged me, event license compliance, auto-renewal flag pending. Normally routine, but I remembered Claire loudly telling everyone in the Monday status meeting that she'd handled all the logistics herself, saying it like she'd just performed open-heart surgery. In reality, she'd uploaded a Canva invitation and spent 2 hours choosing between shades of blush pink for the napkins. The real trouble started the Thursday before the launch, during a dry-run walkthrough at the venue. Some overpriced glass box with a name like Echelon or Axis. I showed up late, clipboard in hand, looped in only because a vendor was confused over load-in times. I was about to leave when Claire spotted me. Her eyes flicked down to my sensible loafers like they'd personally insulted her great-grandmother. "Michelle, hey," she said, pulling me aside near the faux marble. "I just wanted to touch base. The event is a really curated guest list, very visual. A lot of VIPs, influencers, photographers." She leaned in, her voice syrupy. "I think it's best if you don't attend. It's not personal, it's just you don't exactly fit the aesthetic we're going for." That was the moment I felt my stomach drop. Not because I didn't know it was coming, but because she had rehearsed it. She was enjoying it. I blinked once, twice, let it sting. And then I smiled. The same detached, feral kind of calm you get when you realize someone has just cut you off in traffic and flipped you off for existing. "Of course, Claire. Good luck with everything." She beamed like she'd just given me a spa day. What she didn't notice was the way the room shifted around us. It wasn't just the insult. It was the casual, surgical precision with which she dismissed over a decade of work as a coat rack in the wrong color. My chest was fire. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. But something had moved inside me. A gear clicked. Not revenge, just clarity. I spent that evening at my desk in the ops wing, long after the lights dimmed. I logged into the back-end systems. It was ancient, clunky, a Frankenstein's monster built out of 3 acquisitions and 1 panicked rebrand. No one under 30 could use it without breaking something. But me? I knew every tab, every flag, every dangerous little button buried in its dusty corners. The event permit record was right where it should be, filed under Leventra Tech Event, NYC, April 22nd, Tempoth. That Tempoth meant the city had approved it provisionally, pending a final compliance box being checked before midnight on the day prior. Specifically, a form labeled LTX61A, a mind-numbingly boring document asking questions like, will fog machines be used indoors? The kind of thing Claire wouldn't know existed unless it had a Spotify playlist. Sure enough, the box next to Final Assembly Compliance, Verified, Auto Renew License was still gray, unticked, floating there in digital limbo. Claire had made a decision to walk past me like I didn't exist. Now, the bones of the company she strutted across were about to remind her who held the foundation together. I logged into the system at 11:43 p.m. The auto-renew flag was still active. The override logic, designed to give it a 12-hour buffer, was still enabled. Claire had touched none of it. Her entire permit was a sandcastle waiting for high tide. I hovered over the auto-renew field. Uncheck. A confirmation box popped up. Are you sure you want to disable auto-renewal? Yes. Next, I opened the override logic tab. Disable contingency fallback. Save. I stared at the screen for a full minute. Nothing flashy happened, no alarms, no cinematic countdown, just a dull flicker as the system refreshed and accepted the changes. One click, and the provisional permit became a ticking clock. Unless someone who didn't fit the aesthetic showed up to fix it for her, the system would default to non-compliant at 12:01 a.m. I logged out, closed the laptop, and walked out into the cool night air. Midtown smelled like hot garbage and broken dreams, but tonight it had a different scent, inevitability. I was woken by my phone vibrating itself off the nightstand at 6:12 a.m. 12 missed calls. 9 Slack mentions. The group chat was a digital wildfire. Security says they can't let anyone inside. Something about a city flag? I padded into the kitchen and started the kettle. I opened Slack on my laptop while it heated up. Chaos. Then someone finally tagged me directly. Hey Michelle, looks like you're still listed as primary compliance officer on back end. Do you know what's going on with the city file? Still listed. Of course I was. Claire hadn't changed a damn thing. I typed back slowly, calmly, fingers steady on the keys. You'll need to call the city events office directly. The file was flagged non-compliant at 12:01 a.m. when the final verification wasn't received. They'll have a status report on file. Let me know if I can assist further. I clicked send, closed the laptop, poured hot water over the grounds, and sat at the window. No gloating, no panic, just a steady, full-bodied stillness. The system had spoken for me. Compliance is never glamorous, but it is absolute. At 8:03 a.m. the launch was supposed to be mid-sound check. Instead, I stood in the break room watching it unfold live on Channel 7. The lobby of the Echelon Event Center was packed with media vans, baffled investors, and Claire locked outside in full glam. She stepped out of her town car in head-to-toe designer, strutting toward the entrance until she hit the glass doors. A security guard stopped her. There was no screaming, just a quiet, almost embarrassed exchange caught clearly on every lens. She gestured toward the building, then to herself. The guard didn't flinch. Then the venue manager appeared. Per city ordinance, this venue is now restricted from assembly until valid licensing is confirmed. There is no active permit on file for this event. Boom. It hit Claire like a slap. Her shoulders dropped a full inch. The camera panned in for the close-up. The gloss on her lips couldn't hide the panic in her eyes. Her friend slowly drifted 3 feet back, then turned and walked away. The emergency board meeting was set for 9:30 a.m. 15 faces boxed into a grid of forced concern. Legal was there, grim and overcaffeinated. Claire joined 10 minutes late, her background blurred, but not quite enough to hide her hair unraveling in the wind. "We need to establish what failed in the permit chain," Legal began. Claire jumped in first, voice clipped. "Operations was supposed to handle compliance. I delegated the back-end stuff. That was never my domain." An IT member spoke up. "We pulled the back-end logs. Auto-renew was disabled, override logic removed. The last access came from Michelle Lane's credentials." Every square on the call turned toward me. I unmuted. "Yes," I said calmly, "that's correct." "Can you explain," Legal asked, "why you made that change?" I opened my prepared document, a clean, time-stamped timeline of her Slack messages and my actions. "The auto-renewal was scheduled based on final compliance confirmation," I explained. As of 11:43 p.m., the required fields had not been updated. I disabled renewal in accordance with SOP 18C, which governs permit integrity in the absence of verified data. Then I delivered the final, calculated blow. Claire stated multiple times that she had handled everything personally and explicitly instructed me not to attend the event walkthrough or be involved in the final prep. I complied with her request. Silence. The CEO blinked slowly, still saying nothing. Claire's video feed suddenly went dark. By noon, the press had the headline, "Launch failure at Leventra. CEO's daughter denied entry to her own event. Compliance lapse blamed." Inside the office, the fallout hit hard. Investors were furious. Partners issued formal complaints. That evening, HR slid a sealed envelope onto my desk, an official retention offer, salary bump, bonus payout, and a formal request to consult on future high-priority launches. I read it, slipped it into my drawer without signing it. And Claire's office door was wide open, empty, her nameplate removed. The only thing left was a lone orchid drooping toward the floor. I didn't need to gloat. I didn't need to revel. I just observed. All I did was let the system speak. I never needed revenge, just accuracy, and maybe a little silence to enjoy it.